Good morning, dear students. Now we are going to start chapter 9, chromosomal aberrations. The meaning of the aberrations, these are the abnormalities. So in this chapter we are going to study the chromosomal abnormalities that occurred during cell division or during fertilization. So these various chromosomal aberration which leads to the changes in the phenotypes of the organism, and these changes has been transmitted from generation to the generation. So this chapter deals with the all those chromosomal aberrations or the abnormalities that has takes place in the chromosomes. So here the chromosomes of each species has a characteristic morphology, that is the structure and number, but sometimes due to certain accidents or irregularities at the time of cell division, crossing over or fertilization, some alterations in the morphology and number of chromosomes takes place. So the irregularities or the accident at the time of cell division, crossing over or fertilization are responsible for the change or the alterations in the structure and the number of chromosomes. So these irregularities during the cell division creates variations in the organization of the chromosomes, which leads to the change in the phenotypes and is of great genetical interest, because the chromosome of each plant species has a characteristic morphology and number, but when the change has been takes place in the morphology and the number of chromosome, which leads to the change in the phenotypes of the organism. So this change has been studied in the chromosomal aberrations. So which are the changes that involves in the structure and the number of chromosomes? The number of, if the change has been takes place in the number of chromosome that we seen in the previous chapter, that is in euploidy and aneuploidy. But here we are going to study in this lecture the structural changes, the changes in the structure or the morphology of the chromosome. The changes in the genome involving chromosome parts, whole chromosome set are called chromosome aberrations or chromosome mutations. So these chromosome aberrations are deals with the change in the genome which involves chromosome part, whole chromosome or whole chromosome set. So when a change has been takes place in the set of chromosomes, that we called it as the euploidy, and when there is a change in the whole chromosome, we called it as aneuploidy. So these two parts we already finished in the previous chapter. Now in this chapter we are dealing with the changes in the genome involving chromosome parts. So chromosome aberrations or chromosome mutations have proved to be of great significance in applied biology, agriculture including horticulture, animal husbandry and medicine. So the chromosomal aberrations are the changes in the genome involving chromosome parts, whole chromosomes or whole chromosomal sets are called chromosomal aberrations. So chromosomal aberrations are those changes in the genome of the organism, genome, that is the genetic constitution of the organism. If we take the example of the human being having 46 chromosome, and this 46 chromosome has been designated as two sets of the chromosome, and the haploid chromosome number in the human being, it is 23. So it forms a 23 pairs of these 46 chromosome. When the changes in the genome has been takes place which involves chromosome part, if the change has been takes place in a single chromosome where the chromosome part, that is the long arm, short arm, centromere, some change has been takes place in these structural parts of the chromosome. Also, the whole chromosome, when there is an addition or deletion or a loss of a single or more chromosomes, or whole chromosomal sets, similarly there is an addition of a complete set of chromosome. So all these are studied under chromosomal aberrations. So chromosomal aberrations are the changes in the genome involving chromosome parts, whole chromosomes or whole chromosomal sets. So this is all about the chromosomal aberrations or chromosomal abnormalities. Okay. So the chromosomal aberrations or the abnormalities are the changes that involve chromosome part, whole chromosome or whole chromosomal sets. So last two parts, that is the whole chromosomes or whole chromosomal sets, that we finished in the previous chapter, euploidy and aneuploidy. Now in this chapter we are going to study the changes that involves chromosome parts. These are the structural changes. So chromosome aberrations or mutations are of the following types. So these types has been broadly categorized into two: structural changes and numerical changes. So here in this chapter we are interested only in the structural changes, because the numerical changes that we seen in the previous chapter. So structural changes in chromosomes involves changes in number of genes and changes in gene arrangement. So genes are resides on the chromosome. When there is a change in the number of genes, suppose a chromosome consists of 4 genes, okay, and when a change occur in the number of genes, how the change occur? Means there is an addition or the deletion of the genes. So due to this, change may occur in the number of genes. So changes in number of genes involves loss or addition. So when a loss in the number of genes has been takes place, and when a part of the chromosome has been deleted or lost, such type of changes are referred as deletion. When there is an addition of certain genes on the chromosome, or there is an addition of a part of the chromosome, then this is called as duplication. So deletion and duplication, that leads to the changes in number of genes. Now next to this is the changes in gene arrangement. Here there is no loss, no addition of the chromosome part or the number of genes. But here the rotation of a group of genes by 180 degree within one chromosome, that leads to the inversion. So the rotation of group of genes by 180 degree within one chromosome, that leads to the change in the gene arrangement. Suppose the gene arrangement is like this: A, B, C, D. When the middle part of the chromosome has been rotated by 180 degree, then the gene order has been changes as A, C, B, D. So this is simply the gene arrangement. There is no loss, no addition of the genes, but here simply a rearrangement of the gene. So this leads to the inversion. Sometimes what happens, there is an exchange of parts between chromosome of different pairs. So here the word used that is the different, other word for this is the non-homologous pair, non-homologous chromosome pair. When there is an exchange of part of chromosome between non-homologous chromosome, that is called as the translocation. Here also there is also change in the gene arrangement. There is no loss, no addition, but here the change in the gene arrangement has been takes place due to translocation. So inversion and translocation, these are the two phenomenon which leads to the changes in the gene arrangement. Okay, so all these are collectively studied under a heading structural changes in the chromosome. So structural changes involve both changes in number of genes and gene arrangement. And if you say, if the change occur in the number of genes, then it is called as deletion or deletion and duplication. If the change occur in the gene arrangement, it is inversion and translocation. Now the changes in the number of chromosomes. Here we divide this chromosomal aberration into two broad parts. First one are the structural changes and the other part consists of changes in number of chromosomes. When there is a loss or a gain of a part of the chromosome set, that involves addition or loss of a single or more chromosome, that is the part of the chromosome set, not the whole chromosome set. So this is called as aneuploidy. Okay, so this aneuploidy further divided into hypoploidy and hyperploidy. Hypoploidy, when there is a loss of one or pair of chromosome, when one chromosome is lost from the normal chromosome complement 2n minus 1, we call it as monosomy. When there is a loss of pair of chromosome or two chromosomes, then it is nullisomy. Next to this is when there is an addition of a chromosome, trisomy. Addition of a pair of chromosome, tetrasomy. So this we studied in the previous chapter. Loss or gain of whole chromosome set. When there is addition of a complete set of chromosome, whole chromosome set, it is euploidy. When there is a loss of an entire set of chromosome, haploidy. Addition of one or more sets of chromosome, polyploidy. Poly means many, ploidy means units. So there is an addition of one or more sets of chromosome, that we call it as polyploidy. So these are the changes in number of chromosomes. Okay. Now this chapter deals with only the structural changes in chromosome, that comprises deletion, duplication, inversion and translocation. Okay, so one by one we will study all these structural changes. So these various structural changes that comprises deletion, duplication, inversion and translocation has been given in a single figure. Suppose here this is the original chromosome, here is the centromere. So the sequence of the gene on this chromosome is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. If the change has been takes place in the number of gene and the arrangement of gene, that we studied in the structural changes. Okay. So here the original chromosome consists of the sequence like this. When there is an loss of a part of the chromosome, there is a loss of a single gene, that is the gene. So this part get deleted from this original chromosome. Then now the number of genes has to be reduced. Also the sequence of the gene get changed. Now the sequence is A, B, C, D, E, F and H. So this is called as deletion. When there is an addition of part of the chromosome to the original chromosome. So here from another chromosome, this F gene has been added in the original chromosome. Now the sequence becomes A, B, C, D, E, F, this added portion F, G, H. So there is an addition of an extra gene, that is the F gene, that has been found in the original, that has been added to this original chromosome, which is duplicated, which is found to be double. So this is called as duplication. Now the third thing, that is the inversion, where there is a change in the gene arrangement. Again this original chromosome we consider here for description. So here the gene order in the middle, so two breaks has been takes place in the middle, that middle portion has been rotated by 180 degree. So due to this the sequence of the gene has been changed. Here there is no loss, no addition, simply rearrangement of the gene. Now the rearrangement takes place like this. The original sequence is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Now due to inversion, what happened? The sequence has been changed by the rotation of the middle portion by 180 degree. So the sequence is A, B, G, F, E, D, C, H. Okay. So this is occur due to the inversion. Now the fourth point is the translocation, where there is an exchange of chromosome part or a chromosome segment between two non-homologous chromosomes, two non-homologous chromosome pairs, that is called as translocation. So here this is the one homologous chromosome pair, that is ABC D, E, F, G, H. Again A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Another one is J, K, L, M, N, O, P, R. This is the homologous chromosome to this pair. So these are the two pairs, total of 4 chromosomes. Okay, there are two pairs, means there are 4 chromosomes. These 2 chromosomes are homologous. These 2 are another homologous chromosome pair. Okay, now if you compare these 2 pair with each other, this now becomes the non-homologous chromosome pairs because the sequences are different. Here on this chromosome pair the sequence is JKLMNOPR. Now on this homologous pair the sequence is ABCDEFGH. So the genes are different, the position of the centromere is different, the length of the chromosome is also different. So these 2 chromosome pairs are non-homologous to each other. So these are non-homologous chromosome pair. So translocation, what happen in translocation? There is an exchange of chromosomal segment between 2 non-homologous chromosomes. So here these are 2 non-homologous chromosomes. The chromosome segment, that is the FGH, has been exchanged with the OPR. So due to which the gene sequence has been changed as JKLMNFGH ABCDEOPR. So this FGH from this ABCDE, from this chromosome, it has been exchanged with the OPR. So this OPR portion is of the another non-homologous chromosome and this FGH portion is of this chromosome. So these 2 segments of the chromosome are exchanged during the process of translocation. So all these structural changes we will study in detail. So these changes involves deletion, duplication, inversion and translocation. Okay, so this is all about the structural changes that we will study in this chapter. Okay, so there are 4 types of structural changes: deletion, duplication, inversion and translocation. Okay, one by one we will study these chromosomal aberration, mostly concerned with the structural and numerical changes. So both types of changes, structural and numerical, in chromosomes can be detected not only with the microscope but also by standard genetic analysis. So this gave birth to a hybrid science called cytogenetics, which attempts to correlate cellular events, especially those of chromosome, with genetic phenomenon. So cytogenetics, it is the branch of the biology which deals with the study of cellular events and its correlation with the genetic phenomenon. So these structural and numerical changes in chromosome that can be detected not only cytologically but also by standard genetic analysis. So these 2 things has been mixed in a hybrid science that we call it as cytogenetics, where there is a cytology and genetic analysis. So both cytological events, cellular events that has been correlated and studied in relation with the genetic phenomenon. So that is called as cytogenetics. Now the structural changes in chromosomes. For better understanding of the abnormalities of chromosome structure, let us consider 2 important features of chromosome behavior. Now during cell division, if you study the cytology or the cellular events, so during cell division the chromosome behavior function as an important feature for the changes that takes place in the structure of the chromosome. If the change has been takes place in the structure of the chromosome, the chromosomal behavior during cell division has to be changed, and these structural abnormalities can be detected with a microscope cytologically by studying the chromosomal behavior. So what is the normal behavior of the chromosome? First we will study this. During prophase phase of meiosis, homologous regions of chromosomes show a great affinity for pairing. So pairing or synapses that takes place during prophase first of meiosis. So what happened during this? The homologous region means the same regions, the region having the same length, the region possesses the same number of genes, the region possesses the same type of genes. So all these are referred as homologous regions. So homologous regions of chromosomes show a great affinity for pairing, and they often go through considerable contortions in order to pair. So pairing or the synapses during prophase first has been preferentially or has been occurred between the homologous regions of the chromosome, and this property results in many curious structures observed in cells containing one normal chromosome set plus an abnormal or aberrant set. So when a structural change has been takes place in one chromosome, and when this chromosome starts pairing with its homologous chromosomes, due to this structural change, some curious structures has been observed cytologically, where there is one normal chromosome and another one is a abnormal, or the chromosome that possesses the abnormality. So that has been detected during prophase first. Structural changes usually involve chromosome breakage. The broken chromosome ends are highly reactive or sticky, showing strong tendency to join with the broken ends. So structural changes that involving chromosome breakage or chromosome break that leads to the addition or loss of the chromosome part, that broken chromosome segment or the ends are highly reactive or sticky, and that showing strong tendency to join with broken end. So these structural changes occurred in the chromosome because of this tendency. What is the tendency? When there occurs a break in the chromosome, that broken segment or chromosome ends are highly reactive or sticky and showing strong tendency to join with the broken ends. So these two important features of the chromosome behavior are important for understanding the abnormalities of the chromosome, and such abnormalities are detected during the cell division, mostly during the prophase first of the meiosis, when the chromosomes, the homologous chromosomes, makes the pairing or synapses. So synapses occurs more precisely during the zygote stage of the prophase first of meiosis. Okay, so these chromosomal abnormalities we will study one by one, and also their cytological behavior we also studied. Now the types of structural changes in chromosomes. So first one type we studied here, that is the deficiency or deletion, which involves loss of a broken part of a chromosome. So a break occur in the chromosome, and that broken part has been lost from the chromosome, that is called as deficiency or deletion. Second one is the duplication, involves addition of a part of chromosome, that is the broken segment becomes attached to a homologous, which thus bears one block of genes in duplicate. So the chromosome, after joining of the broken segment, possesses some genes which are in duplicate, because this broken segment get attached to the homologous chromosome only. Okay, so due to which some of the genes are occurred in duplicate. So the chromosome that form after duplication involves addition of a part of chromosome. Next is the inversion, in which broken segment reattached to original chromosome in reverse order. Here there is a rearrangement of the gene. The broken segment that has been rotated by 180 degree and reattached to the original chromosome, that leads to the change in the gene order. Here the gene order becomes reverse, because the broken segment has been rotated by 180 degree. So there is a complete change complete reverse change in the order of the gene. Next is the translocation, in which the broken segment becomes attached to a non-homologous chromosome, resulting in new linkage relation. The new gene combinations that has been formed due to the translocation, because the broken segment from a non-homologous chromosome becomes attached to the another non-homologous chromosome, resulting in a new linkage relations. So all these structural changes we will study in this chapter. Further, structural abnormality can occur in both homologous chromosome of a pair or in only one of them. When both homologous chromosomes are involved in these structural abnormalities, these are called structural homozygotes, because where both homologous chromosomes are involved. So it is called structural homozygotes. For example, when the deletion occur in both the homologous chromosome, then it is deletion homozygote. Similarly, when the duplication occurs in both homologous chromosome, it is duplication homozygote. When only one homologous chromosome is involved in the structural changes, it is called structural heterozygote. When the translocation occurs between two non-homologous chromosome pair, but here translocation occurs in only one homologous chromosome, then it is translocation heterozygote. So only one homologous chromosome is involved here, so it is translocation heterozygote. So both structural homozygotes and structural heterozygotes, which consist of the structural abnormalities, either deletion, duplication, inversion or translocation. All these are studied as structural abnormalities. Here only the point is that when both homologous chromosomes are involved, it is called structural homozygote, and when only one homologous chromosome is involved, it is called structural heterozygote. Okay. The simplest result of breakage is the loss of a part of chromosome, that we call it as deletion or deficiency. So here we are going to start the first type of structural change, that is the deletion. Okay. So here in the deletion, where there is a breakage of the chromosome part, which result in the loss of a part of the chromosome, that we call it as deletion. The portion of chromosome without centromere, so it is called as acentric fragment, acentric without centromere. The segment of the chromosome which is without a centromere, it is called acentric fragments. Portion of chromosomes without a centromere lag in anaphase movement and are lost from recognizing nuclei or digested by the nucleases. So that acentric fragment, which is called as a lag in anaphase movement, which cannot move either to any pole because of it is without centromere, because of the absence of centromere. So what happens in the anaphase, the spindle fibers attach to the centromere and pulls the chromosome to the two opposite poles. But here, due to the breakage of the chromosome part, that forms a acentric fragment, means without a centromere. So these spindle fibers are not able to attach to the centromere, because to this acentric fragment there is absence of the centromere, or this acentric fragment is without centromere. So the spindle fiber are not able to attach to it. So there is no movement of this acentric fragment during anaphase. So due to this acentric fragment are lost from recognizing nuclei, or it has been digested by the nucleases. Such loss of a portion of chromosome and of some genes is called deletion. So deletion involves the loss of a part of a chromosome due to breakage. The chromosomes with deletions can never revert to a normal condition. If gametes arise from the cells having a deleted chromosome, this deletion is transmitted to the next generation. Further, a deletion can be terminal or intercalary or interstitial. So, the chromosomes that has been formed after deletion produces the gametes. Obviously, such gametes arises from the cells having the deleted chromosome, and this deletion has been transmitted to the next generation. The deletion is of two types. It is terminal or intercalary. So the first one is the terminal deletion. In terminal deletion, a terminal section, that is the end section or the tip section, a terminal section of a chromosome is absent and is resulted by only one break. So terminal deletion occurs when there is a deletion of a loss of a terminal section of a chromosome due to one break, that is called as terminal deletion. Another one is a intercalary deletion. In the intercalary deletion, an intermediate section or a portion of chromosome is lost. In terminal deletion, the terminal portion, the end portion, the tip portion of the chromosome has been deleted. But in intercalary deletion, an intermediate section, an interstitial section or a portion of chromosome is lost, and it is caused by two breaks, one on either end of the deleted region. Thus, in the latter case, the chromosome is broken into three pieces when two breaks has been occurs in the chromosome, and the middle one of which is lost and the remaining two pieces get joined. So such type of deletion is intercalary deletion. So when two breaks has been occurred in the chromosome, that produces three pieces of the chromosome, and of these three pieces the middle one is lost and the remaining two pieces get joined again. So such type of deletion, it is called as intercalary deletion. So intercalary deletions are those deletion where an intermediate section or the portion of chromosome is lost and which is caused by two breaks. This is called intercalary deletion. So what happened here? There are two types of deletion: terminal deletion and intercalary or interstitial deletion. So what happened here? This is the normal chromosome having the gene order A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Here this round portion, it is the centromere. If you see the chromosome morphology, chromosome consists of long arm, the arm which having a more length than the in comparison to the other arm. So this is the long arm, this one is a short arm, and to join these two arms there is a presence of centromere. Okay, the spindle fibers are attached to this centromere during the chromosome movement in anaphase. Okay, so this is the normal chromosome that possesses the gene A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, when there is a single break occur in the chromosome at the terminal portion, so due to this the terminal portion or the fragment of the chromosome has been deleted, has been lost. Such type of deletion is terminal deletion. So due to the loss of terminal portion of the chromosome, the genes remain on the chromosome are C, D, E, F, G, E, H. The original genes are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. But the portion of the chromosome that possesses the gene A, B has been lost. So such type of deletion is the terminal deletion, where the break occurs at the terminal portion of the chromosome. Another one type is the interstitial deletion, where two breaks are occur in the chromosome which produces three fragments. One fragment possesses the gene AB, another one CD, and the third fragment having the gene EFGH. Okay, so this middle fragment has been deleted from the normal chromosome, then the gene order is ABEFGH. So such type of deletion is a interstitial deletion, where the middle fragment has been deleted. Okay, so such type of deletion, why it is called interstitial or intercalary? Because the middle portion of the chromosome has been deleted. Why it is terminal? Means the terminal portion of the chromosome has been deleted. So to delete a terminal portion, a single break has been sufficient. But for intercalary or interstitial deletion, 2 breaks should be occur, due to which the middle portion has been deleted. So this is the interstitial deletion. In general, if a homologous deletion is made, it is lethal. Even individuals heterozygous for deletion can be tolerated by the organism. So what is this homozygous deletion, heterozygous deletion? When the deletion occurs in both homologous chromosomes, then it is homozygous deletion. And if a homozygous deletion is made, it is lethal. That leads to the death of the organism. And when individuals heterozygous for deletion can be tolerated by the organism where the death has not to occurred. It has been tolerated by the organism. So homozygous deletions are lethal, that leads to the death of the organism. In contrast to this, heterozygous deletions can be tolerated by the organisms. If meiotic chromosomes in such heterozygotes are examined, the region of deletion can be detected by the failure of the corresponding segment on the normal chromosome to pair properly. So a deletion loop has been formed. So what happened during prophase phase of meiosis, when the homologous regions of the chromosome start to pair with each other? Due to the region of deletion, these homologous regions are failed to pair with each other corresponding to the segment on the normal chromosome. So as a result of which a deletion loop has been formed. So that I am going to explain with the help of a figure. So what happened here, the original chromosome possesses the genes A, B, C, D, E, F. This is the normal chromosome. Okay. When a deletion occur in this chromosome, here the case is interstitial deletion, where the middle portion of the chromosome has been deleted. So the genes, that is C, D, E, are deleted from the chromosome. Okay. So as a result of which it forms a deletion heterozygous. A deletion occurs in only one homologous chromosome. So when this deleted chromosome start to pair with the homologous chromosome during prophase phase of meiosis, these 3 genes are deleted from this deletion portion of the chromosome. So due to which there is nothing for pairing, nothing homologous region for the pairing to the normal chromosome. So due to which in the normal chromosome a deletion loop has been formed, because this portion has been deleted from the chromosome. And when this normal chromosomes start to pair with this chromosome, the portion that has been deleted cannot able to pair with the chromosome. So due to which a deletion loop has been formed in the normal chromosome. So if we see the meiotic behavior of the deleted chromosome and the normal chromosome, when the synapsis or the pairing occurs between the homologous regions of the chromosome pair, this deleted chromosome due to the deletion of the portion of the chromosome cannot able to pair with the normal chromosome. So on the normal chromosome, when it start to make a pairing with this deleted chromosome, it forms a deletion loop. Okay, do you get it? This deletion loop has been occur on the normal chromosome during pairing. Why it is occurred in the normal chromosome? Because its homologous chromosome had deleted certain region of the chromosome. That region is CDE region, has been deleted from this chromosome. So this chromosome, normal chromosome, not able to pair properly with this deleted chromosome. So as a result of which it forms a deletion loop. So deletion loops are also detected in polytene chromosomes of Drosophila, where the homologs exist in permanent state of pairing. So cytological detection of the deletion has been carried out by the formation of a deletion loop. So when we detect such deletion loop in the homologous chromosome pairing, then we say some portion of the chromosome has been deleted. The cytological study of bulge pairing between bulge pairing, that is this pairing, it is called as bulge pairing. This bulge or a loop pairing between normal and deleted chromosomes have helped a lot in finding out the relative positions of genes in a chromosome. So when during gene mapping, the relative position of the genes on a chromosome has been detected by finding out such bulge pairing or loop pairing in between the normal and deleted chromosome. So this is the cytological detection of deletion. Now the genetical effects of deletion. Deletion of some chromosome regions produce their own unique phenotypes. A good example of this is a dominant notch wing mutation in Drosophila. So due to deletions of some chromosome regions, it produces their own unique phenotypes. So one example we are taking here is the dominant notch wing mutation in Drosophila. In fact, this is a small deletion and acts as a recessive lethal in this regard. Further, in the presence of a deletion, a recessive allele of the normal homologous chromosome will behave like a dominant allele, because the dominant allele from a homologous chromosome has been deleted. So the homologous chromosome pair consists of a recessive allele. So in the absence of the dominant allele, this recessive allele will behave like a dominant allele. It will be phenotypically expressed, and this phenomenon is called pseudodominance. So pseudodominance occurred when there is a deletion of a chromosome portion or the part which consists of the dominant allele. So in the absence of the dominant allele, the recessive allele on the normal homologous chromosome will express phenotypically, and this phenomenon is called pseudodominance. So what happened here, this is the normal homologous chromosome pair. When there is a loss of this portion of the chromosome, this fragment has been deleted. Now here in this homologous chromosome pair, this A gene this dominant A gene has been deleted, so we written it as capital letter dominant. It has been deleted. So due to the absence of this dominant allele, this recessive allele, that is the small a, get expressed. So this phenomenon is called as pseudodominance. So pseudodominance is occurred due to the deletion or deficiency in the segment of chromosome bearing the dominant gene A, which allows the recessive allele, that is the small a, to become phenotypically expressed. So this is the phenomenon of pseudodominance. So due to the deletion of a dominant gene, that is the capital A, which allow the recessive allele small a to express phenotypically, that is called as pseudodominance. So the phenomenon of pseudodominance exhibited by the deletion heterozygotes has been utilized for the location of genes on specific chromosomes and in preparing the cytological maps in Drosophila, maize, bacteriophage and other organisms. Okay, do you get it? This phenomenon pseudodominance. So pseudodominance occur due to the deletion of a chromosome part that possesses the dominant gene, and in the absence of this dominant gene, the recessive allele get express itself phenotypically. This phenomenon is called pseudodominance. So this is the one of the genetical effect of deletion. Pseudodominance is the genetical effect of deletion due to which the recessive allele in the absence of a dominant allele get expressed. Why the dominant allele has been absent here in this case? Because it has been lost due to the terminal deletion. Okay, so this is the genetical effect of deletion. A example of pseudodominance. So the first one is Gates in 1921 demonstrated the effects of pseudodominance. Certain mice carrying the recessive allele small v in homozygous condition move about erratically until exhausted. Such mice are called waltzing mice. So this waltzing mice is the one of the phenotypic character occur due to the recessive allele small v in homozygous condition. These mice move about erratically until exhausted. When homozygous waltzing mice having a genotype of small v are mated with a normal mice carrying the dominant allele capital V. So as a result of this cross, all the F1s are normal because there is a dominance of capital V over small v. So this dominant allele get expressed. So all the F1 mice are normal in a cross between waltzing mice and normal mice. However, in a cross between homozygous normal female and waltzer male, one of the 7 offsprings was a waltzer. A deletion had resulted in the elimination of the dominant allele, that is the capital V, so that the recessive allele small v for waltzing had expressed itself. So in such a crosses between the normal female and waltzer male, one of the 7 offsprings was waltzer. So this waltzer phenotype occur due to the deletion of a dominant allele, that is the capital V. So due to this, the recessive allele small v for waltzing get expressed. So one individual in the 7 offsprings was waltzer. This is the example of pseudodominance. Another example, in case of human being, human babies missing a portion of the short arm of chromosome 5 have a distinctive cat-like cry, hence the French name cry du chat, means cry of the cat syndrome. So a syndrome that has been occur in the human being, mostly in the human babies, where there is a missing of a portion of the short arm of chromosome 5. Chromosome 5, it is an autosome that determine the somatic character. So due to the deletion of a short arm of chromosome 5, the resultant human baby having a distinct cat-like cry. So the syndrome is cry du chat. They are also mentally retarded, means the IQ below 20, have malformations or the abnormality in the larynx, moon face, a face like a moon faces, saddle noses, small mandibles, that is the macro, malformed low set ears, and microcephaly means small head. Moon face, small head, saddle nose, mental retardations, IQ below 20. These are the symptoms that has been, or these are the characteristics that has been seen in human babies which are suffered from cat-like cry syndrome or cry du chat syndrome. So this syndrome occurred in the human babies because of the deletion of a portion of short arm of chromosome 5. Deletion of a part of the short arm of one X chromosome produces a typical Turner syndrome. So this is another one example of pseudodominance where there is a loss of a part of short arm of one X chromosome that produce a typical Turner syndrome. So Turner syndrome in human being occur due to the deletion of a part of the short arm of one sex chromosome, that is the one X chromosome. Okay, so this symptom it is referred as Turner syndrome. So these are the examples of deletion. One is the Walsing mice, second one is the Cry-do-chat or cat-like cry syndrome, and third one is the Turner syndrome. So this is all for today regarding the first structural change, that is the deletion. The other structural changes, that is the duplication, inversion and translocation, we will study in the next lecture. Thank you. Stay home. Be